here at Banter and Babble reach out to individuals that work in the industries that we cover, whether it's video games, movies, TV shows, and even wrestling.
We had the opportunity to have Impact Wrestling's X Division champion, Rohit Raju, the Mocha Skin Manimal.
I always have a good time chatting with the guys here at Banter and Babble. We talk about pop culture. We talk about all the nerd stuff. I mean, let's face it. That is the only thing we have in common, you and I. You know what I mean? I wake up Impact Wrestling X Division champion every single day, and you wake up beltless, looking like a bag of milk. And then Trey and TJP and Chris Bay, they all thought they had this opportunity. I mean, they did, but me being the master of puppets, outsmarted them all. Champ doing champ things, right? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I mean, you guys aren't champions, but you get the drift. You get it.
Those are bold words. But you know, when you're the champ, when you have the title, the belt does all the talk.
You can trust me, this belt right here has a lot to say. I mean, I'm the prince of the promo, but this belt right here, woo!
It's a beautiful looking belt. So, Tone, what have you been playing?
Hey, whoa! I said the belt. That's a lot to say.
Right, yeah. I mean, yeah, champ, that's that's great. But Tone, Ghost of Tsushima.
Dude. Go ahead, little buddy. Look at you today. Just look at the swag, that shine, those shades. You're looking good.
It's a belt.
Psst. Don't interrupt.
So when we had the after show party and Rohit invited himself to that, it was, he's pretty much the same guy you see on television.
That's a pretty good show.
I agree. That was
awesome. God.
I agree.
What a good time. Thanks for having me on. God, you know what? I just love it. I just love coming here and talking to you guys. Guess what? I think I got little buddy a date.
What?
Yeah. Remember that chick right over there? Check her out.
Dude. Is that your wife?
And it was a great show. We had a lot of fun. Honestly, we can't wait till he can be on the show again.
Good times had by all. I can't wait to be back.
Can't wait. It was great.
It was not great. All right, it was not great. Welcome to another edition of Banter and Babble. I am the Dude79, and joining me always, my esteemed colleague, Mr. Fanboytone. Mr. Fanboytone, what is going on?
Not a whole lot. I've watched that 100,000 times. That's still funny to me every time.
Seriously, first of all, huge shout out the Mocha Skin Manimal himself, Rohit Raju, for taking the time to help us create that. It was a lot of fun. The guy is just entertaining as hell. I mean, that's really just the long and short of it. He's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, he's a character all around, and clearly, you know, he likes to clown and have a good time too. So pretty awesome. We appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Seriously, thank you so much, man. We really appreciate you taking the time to help us out with that, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to do, and I understand that reference from Mega.
yeah.
I understand that reference.
I
understand that
funny.
reference.
That's funny.
That's actually pretty damn good. So, but first, before we move on,
Yeah.
what's Rohit got going on this weekend?
Well, you can catch him this Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Victory Road.
Oh, shit.
Special event. Now, I'm not sure if this is a full-on PPV. It's at least a special event because I got a PPV later in the month of October. But the question is, who will answer the Defeat Rohit challenge? Who will answer?
What do you, any guesses?
I love, like, honestly, that entire division, like, so far, really, it's just been the four of them, Chris Bay, TJP, and Trey Miguel.
Mm-hmm.
They're fantastic. They all have great chemistry. I'm hoping that it will be somebody you wouldn't expect, you know, because it's kind of a small division right now. The X division has been bigger, but who knows? We'll see. I don't know. Honestly, like, it could be any one of them. I don't really have a call on it.
Yeah, I mean, it should be pretty exciting. Saturday night, that'd be a big time event. A lot of people will tune in for that, and we'll find out. What happened? Oh,
Cuddle says, I'll do
it. Cuddle says he's on it. He's all about taking that belt. But no, it was a lot of fun. I hope he has a lot of success going forward. He's entertaining as hell. He's having a hell of a run with the X Division belt right now. Yeah. So that is absolutely awesome for him. Appreciate him helping out with that. But Tom, what's going on? What's going on with you, man? What are we drinking tonight?
Tonight we are drinking out of good old Perrin Brewing Company here in Michigan, of course. This is called Brew Awakening. It is a strawberry rhubarb. Yes, I said strawberry rhubarb.
Fruity.
Kettle sour.
Mm.
So now sours are really hit or miss with folks. Some people have either not tried them, or if they try them, they're like, ooh, they don't expect it. I'm a big fan of sours. I had a sour for the first time in like 2016. And big fan. And they're not something you find often either. This is I love strawberry rhubarb pie.
Right.
Cap knows out there. It's one of the best pies that you can eat. Period.
I've had
And
one.
this is probably the smoothest and yes, creamiest sour I've ever had. It's delicious.
He loves his creamy sours. No, it is really, really good. I'm all about, like I said, I'm 41 years old. I have kids. I'm married. I'll drink all the fruity beer I want. I have earned the right to drink fruity ass beer.
That's true.
I don't care. And this shit's good.
It is good.
It is really, really, really good. So if you guys get a chance to check it out, highly recommended. Let me throw this up here so you guys
I heard
can see it.
Rohit specifically went to Impact because they let girls wrestle guys. That's
Oh, my Lanta.
so Forge is saying Victory Rome was actually a huge PPV for them, so that's good to know.
Oh, really?
Yep, along with like Slammiversary and some of those. So there you go. That's I see because they got another one coming the 24th of October. At least that's on the docket.
Right.
I don't know if that's changed. So
Damn, Forge? I mean, I don't know about AF. I mean, I'll say old, but I don't know about AF, bro. Man.
you got about 6 months on me.
All right. I mean, at least,
What's up, Justin? What up, dude?
Jeez.
Thank you, everybody, of course, as always, for stopping in tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a
Appreciate
lot
you
of good
guys.
stuff to talk about. Tone, what else have you been doing other than drinking?
What am I other than drinking?
Yeah.
Actually, I've been cutting back on the drinking.
Actually, you're gonna be drinking a lot the next couple of days.
Yeah,
you are...
I'm off. I'm on vacation till next Tuesday. Or I'll till
Whoa.
technically I'll go back Wednesday. But I got a wedding this weekend for a friend, so yeah, I'll definitely be doing some drinking. But the doctor told me to cut back on the drinking, so I've cut back on the drinking. And I gotta tell everybody, like, I don't have like a problem. I'm not gonna glorify or do any bits about it. I drink about 2 or 3 times a week, and I've been trying to watch my intake a little bit more. And she's like, "How many times you drink a week?" I said 2, 3 at most. She's like, "Well, let's cut that back some." And I almost threw the phone because it was a virtual conference, right? But I'm like, oh, I'll try. So
2 to 3, and she wants you to cut back.
yeah, I know. I'm like, okay,
Are you
that's
sure she
fair.
didn't say cut it up, like
Right.
cray cray?
Right.
I'm just
yeah,
saying.
right.
That
no.
might have been what she said.
Maybe she's like, it's empty calories. I'm like, I fucking know what I'm doing when I'm drinking because it's good. So Saturday, I decided not to drink, and that was the first Saturday in a while. I hadn't bought a 6-pack on the way home, and that was not easy the entire time all night. I just wanted to have a beer, but I didn't, and that's fine. So anyways, outside of that, I've been just pretty much playing more Ghosts of Tsushima, trying to beat that. Got to Act 3 finally the other night.
Oh, you're in Act 3.
I
Okay.
am in Act 3.
Things really start to pick
really,
up. Furby the
really
birdie.
has. Ferb! Holy shit!
Heyo.
That's not a damn name I've seen in a long time. Hey,
What's
buddy.
going on, Furby?
Yeah.
Welcome, dude.
Appreciate
Our
it.
podfather, welcome.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, dude, and I know you're in Act 3, and shit's about to get wild, dude. This is the Act 3 is where Ghost of Tsushima really picks up in terms of the narrative.
Yeah, I was gonna say the narrative at the end of 2 was very like tense and very like
yes.
it's a. I know we talk about a lot on here. It is a big piece of art, and that's why I love that so much.
Yeah. Having seen the credits roll, I can tell you the story gets stronger and stronger. It ends on a very high note, but there are it gives you some options. Much like the Infamous games, there's different paths you're going to take when you get to the end of it, and it's really really well done. And I tell you what, had this not followed up The Last of Us 2, this would probably be in my conversation for like the best game of the year.
I know. I actually this conversation we both had about this too, and I had one today about that, about playing these games back to back. Man, it's been a couple months of some really good narratives and some enjoyable. Because at first, really, the narrative Ghost of Tsushima seems very, I don't want to say straightforward, but almost playbook.
Yep.
From these kind of cinema styles, and the more and more you go on, though, it has those similarities, but then it starts to really. You can see that the narrative's kind of actually dialing it in and getting a real more like I want to say realistic or whatever you want to say, but because Last of Us lives in a very like realistic
Grounded
tone.
era, grounded reality, yeah.
But that's honestly that's mostly I'm doing, just waiting for my Oculus Quest and the new systems and this, that, and that, and that, and that.
Right.
Ready for the fall.
Yeah, I just got done beating that, so I started up Gears 5. So that's my next
you
game
did.
that I'm going to try to get through. I'm trying to clean up the backlog the best that I can. Gears 5 starts out just bombastic as hell. I mean,
beautiful
shit's
game.
blowing up. It's running great. It's a beautiful looking game. It's fun to play as. I'm still struggling sometimes with the controls in that game from a third-person shooter. Even like the reload is the active reload with the R1 button.
Yeah.
The right bumper. Switching the weapons is you got to hold out the left bumper, I think, and then work around the wheel.
Right,
I'm sitting there, I'm trying to hit triangle or Y, and I'm just like, why can't I do anything with this right now? But other than that, which is a very it's small complaints. I mean, it's a really good game so far. I'm really enjoying it. The story, I tell you what, man. The thing about the Gears games is I played through the remastered of Gears 1. I really liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun, but I didn't think it was like anything like terribly mind-blowing narratively speaking. It was a lot of fun to play as. But then, I actually didn't play 2 or 3.
2's narrative.
I've heard 2 is
Holy
incredible.
shit.
2 is I heard is incredible. But then I jumped into 4, and 4 was actually a lot better than 1 in every way in terms of story. And it kind of caught me off guard. I was like, damn, this is actually really fucking deep.
Yeah.
Like there are some really good story tropes, especially with Kate. That is really, really well done. And they're picking up on that in 5. Obviously, I'm sure many of you have played it, but it is a really, really good game so far. Like I said, high-octane action, lots of shit blowing up. So it's like a nice palate cleanser from story-driven affairs that are, very deep, thought-provoking stuff. I'm not saying Gears 5 won't be thought-provoking. At some point, it might get that way. But right now, it's just more...
It's about the gratuitous side
the gratuitous
of
violence and shit blowing up
and
man, using the Lancer to saw people. I mean, I will, if I didn't have to like shoot everything, I would just buzzsaw everything to death, dude.
And when I was listening to you, you're like, oh, I didn't know you could clang them. Like, yeah, dude, that's
and I died because I didn't realize it. I went up and lock saws with somebody, and then they fucked me up, man. But it's a lot of fun. I'm really, really, really digging that.
I used to be
so far.
A huge fan of the series, and I kind of fell off it with 4, and I actually didn't finish 4. But like you say about the controls, they definitely are very unique for a third person, like
very
the bumper and everything like that too. But I'm glad you're playing it. So it's a good series. Marcus Phoenix is it's kind of like Microsoft's one of their iconic characters.
It really is, man. He really is. And I haven't played through all the Halo games. I'm not kind of the same. I played Halo 1,
right?
Combat Evolved, and that game, just in my opinion, it's not fun.
Boring.
It's very boring at this point in time. But I'm sure back then I could see how it would have been amazing. But like 5 was really, really good. But then at that point, Master Chief wasn't really like the focal point of 5. No. He was just kind of there. So when I play these games, like Marcus Phoenix to me is more personable, has more character than the Master Chief from what I played so far. So that's why at some point I do want to go back once we find out what the Halo Infinite release date's going to be. Then I want to start up Halo 2, Halo 3, go through 4 and ODST and all that stuff. Or what's the other Halo?
Reach.
That's the other one I want to play. I've heard that one's actually pretty good. So that's what I really want to do at some point is play those. But right now it's gonna be Gears 5, and then for the month of October, because it's spooky time.
True.
I got some cool plans for B&B Quickies. I'll divulge on that a little bit later on. Probably next week I'll lay out the plans for that. But once I get done with Gears 5, because I guess it's not a terribly long game, I'm going to jump back into Alien Isolation, which, again, I couldn't finish, like, the first chapter of that game. That game was so fucking stressful. I mean, stressful. The sound in that game, when you hear the xenomorph just pounding its feet, moving, I was like, okay, I'm just going to stay in this fucking...
Dude, it's intense, man.
I'm staying in this air duct, and I'm not leaving.
And that's a beautiful game. That's been out for many years now, but it's still a beautiful game.
And I love how it's playing off Amanda Ripley.
It's all. I think it's canon,
mostly
too.
canon. I think if not all, I think it's very much close to canon.
Yeah.
And dude, I couldn't finish it. It was just one of those things where like I get home from work, I'm tired, I'm worn out, and then I jump into this game and I'm just stressing the fuck out. I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this right now. But in the spirit of Halloween, and it kind of fits in with the backlog thing. I mean, I have to beat that game. I've started it.
Right.
So I'll reset it, jump back into it, and try to hop through that through the back end
that's
of
crazy.
October.
So you're actually playing 2 backlog games out of your 652 games you got to do. That's awesome. Good for you.
Yeah, man, I'm making real great progress.
No.
No, not at all. But hey, it's better than nothing, right? It's better than sitting around just playing Avengers. I mean, I don't.
What?
I don't know. I have no idea what I'm talking about. No idea.
I do want to point out, Trick. I cannot. I saw it a little bit ago. He asked if I met Aquaman today. I cannot deny nor confirm at this time yet. My people will holler at you though.
Dude,
Yeah,
that looked a
picture.
lot like you.
Hmm.
It looked a lot like you, bro.
Hmm.
I wish I had that photo. I'd throw it up right now. Let the audience judge.
Everybody, I'm going to do another plug here. If you enjoy the beats at the beginning of and or anything that we do,
Yep.
Anthouse Beats, the man, the myth, the legend, the Beats Master is out there. As always, give him some love. Don't forget to check him out on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play if it still exists, or wherever you like to listen to your music. YouTube even as well, too. Give him a love.
Check
Thank you, King.
him out. Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Cuddles. And Brian, yes, I am very interested in Soma. I'm very interested in Soma. I remember when that came out, I was super interested in Soma. Very, very cool looking game. Before we move on to our first topic, we do have a giveaway tonight.
We do.
We do. We are giving away a 3-month subscription to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. It's the one that works on PC and for the games. Now, whoever wins tonight, what I would recommend is wait. Wait a month before you apply the code. Unless you're already a subscriber, then don't do whatever the fuck you want with it. But if you're not a subscriber, or if you're waiting to pick up your Xbox Series X, Cuddles, I'll check. We'll work on his PS4. I'll check. I'll let him know. Dumbass. But what we'll do is, what I would recommend is wait until November 10th when the Series X comes out, because that's when EA Play will be added into it. So November 10th, if you want to, if you don't have an Xbox One, or if you're not gaming on PC, I would just recommend waiting for a month. Use that code. Figure out if that's something you want to be a part of. I'm sure you will. I mean, how do you not want to be a part of Game Pass? You know what I'm saying? No, I mean, what a fucking deal. We're going to talk about that a little bit. That's going to be the tent pole topic of the evening.
Ooh.
But before we get to that, we do have a couple other things we want to talk about. But let's get the giveaway started. As usual, ! Enter. And then in 1 hour, if you're still here, it'll pick a winner, and you have to hit ! Claim to enter. Again, this is for a 3-month Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription. We appreciate everyone that tunes in here. God dang it, Cuddles. What a goofball. We seriously appreciate everyone that tunes in every time we do a show. Yep. It means the world to us to have you here, and it's the least we can do to give back to our community, our friends, and those of you that support us every time we go live. You guys and girls are the best. We love you very much, and this is our way of just, again, returning the favor, showing you that love, and we appreciate you being here.
Absolutely. I could set it better, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah, that's a commitment. Damn, Podfather! First time following us, and he's an hour. I mean, hey, man. Either you want to be part of the conversation, you don't have to stay. I'm just saying, you don't have to stay. All I know is you have 1 minute to hit ! Claim if you do win. 1 minute. It picks another winner.
Me.
It defaults to Tone after that. So that's how it works. All right. We got a couple movies we want to talk about first. So we're going to hop into that right now. Up first, The Devil All the Time. With just an absolutely star-studded cast.
Holy shit, yes.
I mean, the cast in this movie is AAA quality and just phenomenal. It's really, really stacked in terms of the cast. But Tone?
Yes.
I'm going to let you start this off, because I can't wait to follow it up.
I really liked the movie. I honestly, as it first started going, I didn't know what direction it was going. And truth be told, at the end of watching it, I'm still not sure what the direction was with it. It took a long time to figure out who, if any, really are the protagonists or antagonists. There's plenty of those, I suppose. But once I got about halfway through the movie, it really kind of evolved a little bit, I think. So it takes a while to kind of set things up. But even as it's setting stuff up, there's a lot of stuff you're really unsure about. Really, my look at it is my initial thought. Obviously, I liked it. It's a lot of great acting. Robert Pattinson in this movie.
Jeez.
Now, I've seen him in a couple different roles. This is probably the best role I've seen him in, and that's because he honestly is kind of I don't know if creep is the right word, but whatever. Kind of is, I suppose. But like, how he portrays his character. First of all, the way he does his sound, there's certain ways that he carries himself. Kind of like how James Spader always got that head cock, you know? He's kind of like doing that, and it's like with the way he's dressed and his hair and everything like that.
He's
like,
very confident.
Yeah, and but at the same time, you get this sleazy feeling.
Yeah,
and
like it's a facade. Like he's confident, but he's it's a cover.
And this is right on the kind of the cusp, or right about Vietnam War time. So LBJ, I believe, is president at this time. Yeah, matter of fact, he's over the radio at one point. But everybody in this period, in this time period, it's very like real kind of backwater. It takes place in like parts of Ohio and Tennessee and Virginia and stuff like that. Everybody looks slimy and greasy. Like, the people aren't great with hygiene. And this is after World War II, when there's a lot of uptick in the economy here, and there's a lot of good things going on. But it's also right before Vietnam, so it's like everything's kind of almost like dialing back a little bit. So it really. The timepiece to me felt like what was important about that time period is that, kind of how I said earlier about no social media and things, like everything was hearsay, and the way people talked to each other was so different back then, especially then too, and you're in an area where you don't have a lot of outside interference or anything like that. And it almost felt like a sandbox, like when you play some games or something like that as reference, like sometimes you're not the main role, sometimes you're part of just this area, right? And that's kind of what this was, is that it never really felt like anybody was like super important, but to these people, everything that was going on was super important, because people were tying, like if you line up the characters like 1 through 8, and 1 might be cousin to 4, but 4 might be best friends with like 9 or something like that, and 9 doesn't even exist because I said 1 through 8, but let's say 8. You know what I mean? Like there was weird threads kind of like woven between everybody. And when you're watching this, you're trying to figure out, you're like, what is going on? Because there was a lot of moments where, you're going, whoa, holy crap, I didn't see that. Came out of nowhere. So it has this almost grounded, macabre feel to it, and this vibe. Like, I think, to me, my interpretation of it, the devil all the time is basically, in a time that especially like religion is big, people are very religious, and like you almost imagine like the angel and the devil on your shoulder like a cartoon, and like there is no angel on that shoulder. Right. Everybody literally is like listening to the devil whisper in the ear. So I don't know if that's a really great explanation for it. I'm still trying to unpack that movie, but I was very intrigued with it because the cast is amazing, the dialogue's good. There's a lot of interesting tragedy. Tragedy is a great word for this movie. It's nonstop tragedy, and how do people react and how do they handle it and sort of things. And all being in like a small town. I'm from a small town, so like there were parts of this that felt like, yeah, it's definitely a small town. Like it makes sense how these people are handling and reacting to situations like that. So, again, I liked it. I don't know if that's really like, and I want to hear what you say some more too, and then maybe we can kind of converge on some of our stuff. But
sure.
More than anything, I definitely say you should watch this movie. It's very, very, it's sometimes uncomfortable. It's very off-putting. And really, at the end of the day, it's just highlighting everybody's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously that's relevant now because there's a lot going on in the world today where a lot of just shitty people are, are very,
shitty people all over.
Yeah. There's shitty people everywhere. But, I'm going to go a little bit with our podfather there. He said, so my opinion, loved it, but it was 25% story and 75% let's see cast acting ability with set pieces that make the audience go, wow, glad was a Netflix over cinema release. I think our podfather is pretty spot on.
I think that's fair. I think that's very fair.
First of all, absolutely agree. Everybody in this movie is up to the game.
Unreal.
Everyone is game to deliver rock solid performances from top to bottom. Everyone's great. Jason Clarke, Robert Pattinson, Kylie Rowe, Sebastian Stan, Tom Holland. Everybody is fucking great in this movie. Everyone brings the heat. And it's basically the one thing that I think carries this movie, that gets it to the finish line. But my issue with it is, like what our podfather said, and I think Cuddle said it as well, this would have been much better as either a miniseries or a full-on, like, 10-part season. Simply because, yes, I get it. There are shitty people everywhere. Totally get that. And that's also the storyline for a lot of movies. And with these actors doing such a great job portraying these characters, the fact that there was no backstory to each of these characters is what left me wanting more. why was Robert Pattinson this sleazy priest? He comes from this college of being a priest. I mean, you would think, oh, he's probably a well-educated guy. And what caused him to turn? Is it just being the power of religion and knowing he can get away with stuff? You know, you mentioned the devil and the angel on the shoulders. I mean, I think the angel was there, but the angel was in disguise. It was actually I mean, it's because he's a priest, yet he is using that to reach out to people, to make them comfortable with him, to make find their vulnerabilities and act on them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jason Clarke's character, he promises that girl, oh, you should be a part of this. I'm going to make you feel beautiful and stuff. And he turns out to be a fucking serial killer. You have all these characters that are just so bad that I want to know how they got there.
Right.
Give me that story. I mean, because the everything was really well done. It's just like, fuck, man, these guys just all show up and, yep, we're all shitty people. Okay. Sebastian Stan's story, I still don't know what the fuck was going on with that.
Yeah, there's definitely not.
I was watching that. I was like, what is going on with this? What is this? What is with this? What is going on with him and these dudes in this bar? And I'm like, okay, I don't really get this, because they're just trying to cram so much shit into already a 2.5 hour movie. But yeah, it could have been like a Chernobyl, a 4-part miniseries. Just really explore these characters. I mean, you put all this talent into this show. You could have easily been like, okay, this episode or this part of the miniseries is going to focus on Robert Pattinson and Jason Clarke. We're going to focus on those characters because these guys are talented as fuck, and they're going to carry this particular episode of the miniseries. And then the next one, you got Skarsgård and maybe Sebastian Stan, explore their characters. And it's just like, man, you like I said, you see all these brilliant performances, but then there's just no substance to the characters. The only character that has any substance is seriously Tom Holland.
Yeah,
you get to see what he grew up
with.
You get to see how he was tormented by his father. He had to deal with his father's the issues his father was going through, and how that groomed him growing up, and how he, was like protective of his sister, his stepsister, or whatever. And it's just like, or was it his cousin? It was his cousin.
Yeah, there's some convolution there.
But yeah, like he's the only character that's really fleshed out. Everyone else is just like, okay, I get it, they're shitty people, but I would have liked to have heard more about why they were shitty people.
So, because I definitely don't disagree with you, and I don't disagree with that thought process. Like, my first question would be, and it's probably arbitrary, but like, doesn't Netflix? Because who has more money, HBO or Netflix? Because if this was on HBO, I feel like it may have been a miniseries instead of a movie. Is Netflix gun shy? Because like we were talking about a couple other things too that have come out. Some things do have almost more impact when there's better fleshed out. Like for me, maybe not necessarily to a full degree, because I'm not disagreeing with you. I like there are things about Sebastian Stan's character, yes, I want to know, like or about Jason Clarke's characters. But my question would be, because I haven't read the book either, is there a reason why, from the narrative standpoint or from the writer standpoint, that he's trying to convey that he felt was not relevant to get to those backstories? And clearly, maybe it's just because it's a movie and they've got 2 hours to do this, and Netflix said, here's the money, this is the best we can do, we're not doing a 3-part miniseries. Right. Which, even like you said, like Chernobyl would be great for that sort of setup like that, like a 3 or 4-part miniseries. But the more I keep thinking about it and keep trying to unpack this movie, and I feel like this is something I'm not going to stop talking about for a minute, is that we say devil all the time, and then we say, well, the only one we really get some background is Arvin, the main character. Well, I wonder if that's the point. Like, I wonder if the point is that in a world where the devil's doing all the talking, here's a guy that's still somehow, even though he's not very religious, is still being like a guiding light. Like I said, I almost wondered if the writer is like secular or atheist or something, because it almost feels like he's not pushing like maybe a scope of where he does or doesn't believe when it comes to religion, but it almost feels like that, like he's just trying to highlight how terrible everybody, because everybody's really religious around him and everything. Like there's people killing people basically at the same time they're praying to God. That's fucking wild, right? So like, is he trying to point out hypocrisy? Like, I don't know, like I almost want to, like, I feel like I got to watch it a couple more times and keep unpacking it, because while I don't disagree with that thought process you're saying, my question would be, is does the writer feel like that's relevant because the story isn't about that part?
And see, and then my question would be, is like, maybe instead of watching the story again, we should read the book, because I'm wondering how much was left out of the book.
Right.
I don't know. I haven't read the book. I don't know if anyone in the chat has read the book. If you had, is it pretty much close with what we saw in the movie? I don't know what the novel, I don't know what was left off out of the story from the novel. It's just like, Yeah, I get it. Arvin, maybe he is the point of the show, and I get that. But man, why spend the money on all these other talented actors just to give them shallow content to work with?
Right.
Like, look, Jason Clarke, talented actor. Go look menacing. Oh shit, okay, that's easy. What's my backstory? Well, you just want to watch your wife get fucked and then kill the guy. Oh, well, okay. What caused him to get to that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And again, I think also part of it is that a lot of what you're seeing in this movie is relevant to the shit that's going on in the real world.
Oh,
today.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That I feel like I get that connection. It's just, man, I would have liked to have had a little bit more from the backstories of the characters.
Right. I think that's fair. I do think that's fair. I honestly, I won't disagree with anybody on that at all, actually.
Our Proud Father says, for me, it removed Holland from Spider-Man and let me see the new Batman as a non-teen character. So as a commercial view, actor-wise, we can progress to see them in new roles on a mainstream. No, and he's right. I mean, this, again, another movie for Robert Pattinson that just separates him further from the Twilight shit.
Yeah.
This guy has now done multiple roles where he is showing just incredible range. He's able to shake off that Twilight bullshit, and he has delivered some just renowned performances. Somebody mentioned he was really good in The Lighthouse. I still have not watched The Lighthouse. I want to watch The Lighthouse because I love him and Willem Dafoe. I mean, they're just two heavyweights in the movie, and I imagine that's just really, really good. But he again is just continuing to make strides to separate. Tom Holland continues to make strides to kind of break off. He doesn't want to be like, kind of like the Michael Keaton thing with Batman. He got shoehorned into that role a little bit, and it was kind of hard for him to break off, and he struggled with his career for a little while. Tom Holland making moves to show he's got a dramatic sense. And we know he can be fucking Spider-Man. We know it. He's really, really good. But you want to see these characters in these. Sebastian Stan, another guy, mostly known for, being the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
But now you get to see him in another role where he's very, very good. So it's good to see these characters who are these actors who are able to display a lot of range and really kind of come through in these roles that you wouldn't expect them to be. That's kind of like out of their comfort zone. Our Father says Lighthouse is great. I have to watch it. I really, really do have to watch it. So, overall, your thoughts? You liked it?
I really enjoyed it.
Really enjoyed it. I thought it was decent. I think it could have been a lot better, but we both would agree. Watch it. Check it out for yourself. At the very least, to appreciate the performances by everybody involved, because it's across the board. It's aces performance-wise. I agree. Cuddles a 6 out of 5, 6.5 out of 10, 7 out of 10. I'm comfortable with that. I think that's all right. I feel like you're more of an 8 out of 10.
I'm probably more 7.5. 7.5
Oscar. Okay.
7.5, 8 maybe.
Oh, okay.
I really like. Because I feel like there's more there.
Right.
Maybe.
No, that's fair, man. Like I said, I dig it. Like I said, watch the movie, you guys. Let us know if you're watching this on YouTube or listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever. If you're checking this out and you watch this movie, sound off in the comments. Let us know what you think. We want to get your thoughts. It's a good effort. It's a good effort.
Yeah.
It's a hard watch. This is not a fucking feel good movie.
Oh God, it's gratuitous.
It's not a feel good movie.
It's violent,
but it's carried by the performances of everyone involved. It's really well done in that regard. Just like I said, a little bit deeper with the characters would have been nice. All right, Devil all the time. Moving on to Jesus. This movie here. Woo! This was a recommendation by, I believe, Tricky Regent.
Was it Trick that somebody in the community? I thought it was King originally, but it might have been Trickety Trick. Wanted us to watch
Guns Akimbo.
Guns Akimbo with Daniel Radcliffe,
starring Harry Potter himself, Daniel Radcliffe. And now you got to finish this before I did,
right?
And I watched the trailer for it, and I was just like, okay. I mean, this already looks like a movie where I don't have to think too much, so I can just watch this like after work, or just sit down, have a drink, and see what happens. I'm gonna start out by saying that Daniel Radcliffe is really good in this movie.
Yeah,
he's really good. Again, this is another movie that allows him to kind of break off from the Harry Potter thing, show that he can do other stuff,
right?
And he's really good in this movie. This movie, though, to me, as entertaining as it is entertaining. Okay, it is fun to watch. You suspend all disbelief and just go with it. This, in my opinion, was like a poor man's cheaper version of, like, a very cheap version of John Wick. There are some really bombastic shootout scenes, but they're just not nearly as well done as like what you see in John Wick. They're not as well choreographed. They're just kind of like, okay, here's shooting, a lot of like Michael Bay quick cuts, a lot of quick cuts going on. But it's funny. I mean, there's a lot of humor involved. Some of it's dark humor. Daniel Radcliffe is, again, very, very good in this movie. His timing is really good when he has to be funny. He's very chaotic. He's very frantic in this movie, and he does a really, really good job at conveying like, look, he's not a violent person, and he's in a real bad situation. Basically, what this is like there's this thing called Schism, which is like live stream, one-on-one death match in real life. Like it's this underground, like,
and like everybody watches it like on Facebook or some shit.
Yeah, yeah. And the cops, their only way to keep up with it is just watch the video and try to figure out where this shit is happening at. So it's an absurd like concept. But it's entertaining. It's fun to watch. It goes by relatively quick. It's ultra fucking violent, but don't go into this movie expecting any kind of plot. It's really just, it's not that type of movie. It's fun though. It's a fun Saturday night, sitting around not doing anything. Hey, Guns Akimbo's on. I'll watch this shit. If you want people to get blown away, watch people get blown away. That works. It'll fit that bill. Let's get your thoughts on it.
I honestly, I looked at it like, let's see, Podfather, great opening, terrible after the first 5 minutes. I guess depends on my look at terrible, because it's not a great movie, right? Like it's not, it's just fun.
Yeah.
I honestly, I took it for what it was. It's just meant to be kind of a slapstick, over the top, goofy. It's basically like a video game became a movie.
It really is.
That's really all it is. Honestly, like the premise, the concept, everything, all the goofiness and this, that, and the other. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It was very entertaining. I don't know that I would necessarily watch it again. I'd tell people to at least watch it, maybe see what you think. Chances are you may not like it, but if you go into it knowing that you're really literally getting what they're showing, then you're going to be fine with it. And honestly, and I know like it's not a very intricate story. There's kind of a slight twist, but it was kind of obvious, blah, blah, blah. But really the big piece, there's a character, there is a bum.
Yeah.
That steals the entire movie.
The homeless guy, yeah.
10 minutes he's with this character, and I swear it's like the best 10 minutes of the entire movie. It's hilarious.
Which says a lot.
Which kind of, it does kind of say a lot, but like, and I don't even know who that actor was off the top of my head, but like, it was hilarious. Like him and Radcliffe were kind of going back and forth, but this dude was like on point delivery, like unbelievable. And it was hilarious. Like even the smoking crack bit, like it was fucking, it was great. Yeah, it was a good time. It was you spent $10 on it? Man, I got it free on Prime, man. Hey, maybe you should be a Prime member.
Who spent $10 on it?
Cuddles, I don't know what he's doing.
Oh wow. I thought he meant with a bum.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's definitely not a
minutes.
movie I would recommend somebody go out and buy. I wouldn't be like, hey, you should buy this on iTunes or something like that. No, I would just say watch it if it's on a subscription service that you use. Yes. Or if you're sitting around bored one night and you want to watch something that's entertaining that'll help pass like an hour and a half, yeah, watch it. Daniel Radcliffe alone is worth watching it. He's really, really fun. Rise Darby of New Zealand. Death Spencer, what else was he in? Because he looked incredibly familiar.
He looked very, very familiar.
Oh, the bum. Yeah, he's the NPC from Jumanji. Thank you, Tricky Regent. The guy at the beginning, the NPC that's like, you are in Jumanji.
Oh, holy shit.
Welcome. Yes, that's who it is. Thank you.
Wow. He's very animated.
He's very animated. He's got the eyes and everything. He's very, very animated. Thank you. Thank you, Tricky.
Good.
Appreciate it. Flight of the Concords. I don't know what Cap's talking about. Is he running a bit? Cap running a bit?
That's a TV show or something, I think.
Oh, okay. All right, awesome.
He's the manager in that. There you go.
He's the manager in Flight of the Concords.
Kind of like a underground cult following, like old school kids in the hall.
No, not Robo. Damn it.
There's a RoboCop 3. Like, come on, man. We can't even get like an hour in this shit. You got to bring that up.
Already going with RoboCop 3.
Oh, yeah.
But no, overall, I mean, entertaining, goofy. You're not like I said. There's a scene where somebody in the movie gets into a car accident and they fly out of the one windshield.
Yes.
And then fly into the windshield of the other car that they hit. And they get up and they walk away. And I was just like, okay. Now I know where we're at. Now I know I can just like, you know what? I don't fucking care what happens from here on out. I'm just going to watch it and have fun with it. The music's rad, though. Awesome soundtrack.
Very awesome soundtrack.
That helps you get through a lot of stuff. The music is really bumped. There's actually some pretty good covers in there, too. some cover songs that are in
Yeah,
there.
because it's like a cyberpunky feel, so there's
Yeah,
some good
yeah.
punk rock in there too.
Yeah, there's some really good punk rock in there.
agreed.
There are some strengths to the movie. There are some really good strengths to the movie. Daniel Radcliffe, the soundtrack, it's breezy. It's not something you have to really think about. But it was yeah, it's worth a watch. If you get a chance to watch it, I wouldn't recommend buying it. But if you got nothing else going on, and it's
Yeah,
on
and
a
if you
streaming
bought it,
service-
your name's King Cuddles, haha.
yeah, if you bought it, your King Cuddles is the only guy that bought
Or
it.
rent, whatever.
So, but no, overall, not bad.
Yeah, it's all right.
Not bad. Entertaining.
It's
Goofy,
entertaining.
Dumb fun. It's really just dumb fun. It's like basically you're spending an hour and a half playing Call of Duty. Dumb fun. Accurate? Fuck yeah. All
Move
right.
on.
Moving on
Right.
to the big topic of the night.
Oh.
In politics, there's the October surprise. In video games, it's apparently the September surprise. Monday. Was this last week or this week? That was last week.
What month is it?
Last week. Last Monday. Xbox, which is hilarious because it involves Fallout, they dropped a megaton bomb of their own.
Yerp.
This is a big one, dude.
Yeah.
This was a big one. And
Bunny.
Xbox, Microsoft went out and acquired ZeniMax Media for $7.5 billion.
And why is that name important?
Well, ZeniMax is the parent company that owns Bethesda Game Studios, which includes quite a few game studios.
It surely does.
id Software.
I know
Bethesda
that name.
GameWorks.
Familiar.
Arcane Studios.
Arcane's up and coming still, but
yeah,
awesome.
They're kind of known for stuff. Who did Wolfenstein? I mean, I don't even know.
id, I think, did that as well.
Is that an id one too? I mean,
think.
they bought but it's not so much about the developers; it's about the games that they just secured.
There's a name in there, 2 or 3.
Fallout, Doom, Wolfenstein, Elder Scrolls. These are heavyweight titles. Okay, these are heavyweight titles, and this was a monumental announcement. I mean, there was rumors going around that Bungie's looking to, or Microsoft's looking to buy Bungie. Oh,
Yeah, that was a weird one.
Yeah, they're gonna buy this one, and
That was
everyone's like,
weird.
"Oh, they're not gonna do anything. They're not gonna do shit." And then, boom, here you go. We're buying up ZeniMax, and this started a whole bunch of conversations, whole lot of speculation. What does this mean? Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop are PS5 launch exclusives or timed exclusives. What happens to those? What is Fallout and Starfield and Elder Scrolls? Are those still coming to PlayStation 5? Well, we don't really know. Phil Spencer comes out and says, "Well, look, this is happening for this. We'll release other platform or on other platform. Other games will be on a case by case basis."
There it is.
Cool.
Nope.
Basically, what he's
So
saying
nope.
is, yeah, you'll still get Fallout 76 content, and yeah, you'll still get Elder Scrolls Online content, but that's all you're getting, baby.
Yeah.
That's all you're getting. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are like, "Oh, well, I mean, they're not going to just not put stuff out on PlayStation 5. I mean, they're not going to ignore all those consoles. They're going to leave money on the table."
Are they really going to leave money on the table, though, dude?
Guys,
7-9? Are
Here's
they?
the thing, man. Doom, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Dishonored, Prey, whatever, will never see the light of day on PlayStation 5. Ever. So the thing right now, you guys, is just accept it. Those games are not coming to other platforms. PC, Xbox One is all you're getting. Okay? For now. But here's why that is too, guys. Because if you think about it, the first thing is you gotta think outside of the console wars. You gotta think outside of Microsoft meets against PlayStation. Okay, you gotta think outside that.
Yeah, because if you're thinking consoles, we know what a lot of everybody out here is thinking.
Last
about.
generation, yeah, that mattered. Generation, that mattered.
So we understand some of those folks. Like I saw a PlayStation, like greater than Xbox, and there's already a little bit of banter back and forth out there. Go figure, because you're on Banter and Babble out in the chat out there, about the consoles and stuff like that. But
Right.
And yes, it does feel like last month, Booty. Trust me. But like at the end of the day, there's something bigger that a lot of people haven't really put 2 and 2 together. But somehow you You figured.
I didn't figure it out, man. I just took a moment to get over the shock of everything.
Right,
and,
right,
and,
right.
And other people are already starting to talk about this now. But like, look, here it is. Here's something that Microsoft put out this week. Game Pass. You are the center of gaming. And you can see on the right side there, you're like, oh yeah, there's the Xbox Series S. I can play all those games on Game Pass there. That's cool. And then you see the PC above it. Oh yeah, I can play on there with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which we're giving away! ! Enter. And then on the bottom left, like, yep, there's the Xbox Series X. Yep, that's the most powerful console. That's badass. Yep, they're gonna have Game Pass. But then right there above that, you guys, right there above that, the mobile, the phone, the tablet, play anywhere with can't read that.
Cloud?
Yeah. Anyways, oh yeah, cloud gaming on mobile. In the first year of the PlayStation 5. Let's just guess, what, 8 million units? 10 million?
There you go.
Maybe
Let's throw a dart
13.
there.
I mean, 1 year. I don't fucking know this stuff. Okay, I don't know any of this shit.
I can tell you that the first year, 2013 holiday, including combined with release, was about 5.5 million of PS4.
Okay, so there you go.
That's within 3 months.
That, at the start of last generation, that's a lot of consoles not to bring your game out on. You're losing money. You're losing money.
Is it? But what if?
But what if cloud gaming works? What if streaming works? I was one of the first people that said streaming is shit. When PlayStation Now first came out, I tried it. I said, no, this is not a fucking way to play games. Not a way to play games. I hated it. I was like, this is dumb. This is terrible. Years go by. Google is the first to say, hey, we're going to do this thing called Stadia. It's got all these fucking servers, and it'll work really, really great. Oh, okay, well, and then I have Destiny 2. Well, that had me hooked. I was like, okay,
Right.
well, Destiny 2 is going to be there. It's got cross progression. I'm good to go. I can play this wherever I go. But, I was still skeptic. It was like, this is just not going to work. There's no way I want to play this game because I'm still fresh in my mind the PlayStation Now experience, which was booty. Even in single-player experience. Multiplayer, forget it. It was terrible. I am now close to 60 hours of Destiny 2 and Stadia, playing through the cloud. Cloud gaming is legit. I can go on there and I can do Iron Banner, I can go do Crucible, I'm playing multiplayer, and there's no problems. Cloud gaming, streaming works. Okay? It works really, really good. And I did this when I was at work on my break, of course, on my break. I'd go upstairs, I'd hook up my hotspot to my phone. And they go, well, no, there's no way this works. There's no way this works through my phone. I can't do that. No way. Worked fine. Worked great. So now that tells me this is legitimate, running off LTE services. There are 5.22 billion mobile users in the world today. 5.2. 66% of the world has a mobile device of some sort. Now, I'm not saying every one of those people is going to hop out and buy Game Pass.
Right, your BlackBerry's not going to run it either.
But if I can spend $14.99 or $20, whatever they bump it up to, at some point this is going up. At some point this has to go up, but maybe it doesn't. Because if you have, let's say, 20% of those 5.2 billion people plays games on their phones
at $15 a month,
$15 a month, you think about all of that money. All of a sudden, the PlayStation 5. Nobody cares.
Or even the Xbox console someday.
Yeah.
What if
Nobody
it's just
cares.
It's just a streaming
The
service.
PlayStation 5, whether it's next year after their first launch of the system and their install base grows, or the last year of the PlayStation 5. Peanuts compared to what they're going to make off Game Pass on mobile devices. And that's just mobile devices, you guys. He wants this shit. Phil Spencer wants this shit on smart TVs, everything. And you don't spend $7.5 billion on Bethesda to put those games on your competition, your very irrelevant competition at this point. You're not going to spend $7.5 billion. You're doing that to get people to buy fucking Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
If I can sit there and go Game Pass and play Elder Scrolls and Fallout
Right.
and Halo and Gears and Starfield, fuck me, man. I'm not putting that shit on anything but Game Pass. Xbox is a brand. It's no longer about their console. Nobody gives a fuck about consoles over at Bethesda. They do care about consoles because they understand, we talked about this, there are rural areas that don't have the internet to download and stream and all that shit consistently.
Yeah, and
They need to
especially in
have a
the
console.
States. Yes.
Consoles will stay relevant for a while, but you better believe the money ain't going to come from consoles anymore. I mean, shit, they just talked the other
They
day.
lose money on this shit.
Yeah, they just talked the other day about how they jumped up so much in Game Pass. They're up to 15 million subscribers on Game Pass already. 15 million subscribers.
And that's not even a fraction yet of people on mobile.
That's going to
phones.
change now.
Yeah.
With this Bethesda deal, that's going to go way the fuck up, dude.
What if you're on break next time and you're on your fucking phone and you're just playing Elder Scrolls 6?
Yeah, and I mean, and then you got like these PlayStation guys, and guys, I love PlayStation.
Yeah, we're big PlayStation guys.
I have so much time spent in
Know
their
that.
ecosystem, earning trophies and playing their games. I love PlayStation, I love their exclusives. But if I sit here and say, well, I mean, they're going to bring Fallout 5 and Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield to this system, no, they're not. I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not going to be that guy. And then if you look at this quote, this was on the Xbox blog post the other day. This is from the Xbox Vice President Sarah Bond. One of the things that has me most excited is seeing the roadmap with Bethesda's future games coming to Xbox console and PC, including Starfield, the highly anticipated new space epic currently in development by Bethesda Game Studios. Xbox console and PC ain't coming to PlayStation, guys. Everything back here, no longer coming to PlayStation. Elder Scrolls Online will stay on PlayStation. That's good money there. That's good revenue there. Fallout 76, which nobody gives a fuck about.
That's good.
That'll stay
revenue
going.
there.
Yeah. Carlos does the math. 15 million equals 195 million a month. Nobody at Xbox looks at PlayStation or Nintendo anymore as competition.
Now imagine that 195 million, and you're not having to pay out for building a console someday. Pod brought it up. I think you can probably read that a little bit better.
I was lucky enough to host the largest independent Xbox podcast in the world, and they have told us for 4 years this is the long-term plan. Subscription earns more than console sales. On brand, they don't care. Bethesda takeover is more recognizable content on servers.
And this is the stuff that we've been talking about because at the end of the day, it costs a lot of money to make these consoles. And now if you just open up the floodgates to billions of people with phones or whatever, and you can get them into your ecosystem by paying $15 a month, even if you can grab, let's say, 10 people, $15 a month for a year, but none of them buy a console, just profited the fuck out of your face. And think about this too. This is something that kind of comes back to being on Mixer as well too with FTL. A lot of people thought that part of the reason they bought, what was that originally before Mixer? I can't remember the name of it.
Is
it S maybe?
What was it?
I don't know. I remember. But anyways, because the FTL is like light speed,
right. Beam. There you go.
Beam. Thank you. That is important to know because sometimes Microsoft buys stuff, dismantles it, figures out, takes what they want, throws it away, or something like that. FTL plays a part in this somewhere, is my guess, especially with xCloud, and they knew this. I feel like that there's a link there. So, like this has been, like he's saying, 4 years, no doubt, since they started Game Pass or before. They said big time during the 360 era, they wanted 360 to be your media center. And Xbox One, they were able to do that. They had the cable set up and everything. They've been looking for a way for a long time to be some form of like residual money from everybody monthly. And here we are.
No, this was a move, and again, this comes from a guy who's spent a lot of time in the PlayStation ecosystem. I've got a lot of time spent there.
Yeah.
Got a lot of trophies. Does this change the way I feel about PlayStation? No. PlayStation has a pretty solid first-party studio, a group of studios, and Sony Worldwide Studios. They have all the power they need, and everyone's like, "Well, go buy Rockstar." They can't. They can't buy Rockstar. It's just, look, this is just where we're headed. And this is going to, and my biggest concern is, do I want this to turn into an arms race where everyone's buying up these publishers? But, I mean, look, Amazon just joined the fucking streaming thing.
This is where, you're getting, here you go. Now you're getting into it, too.
Luna, Amazon Luna is now out in the wild. That is the new one. I heard Microsoft was buying Banter and Babble. Man, I hope so. Shit, let me know. I'll put on green and white everywhere and just wear Xbox gear.
You just be a floating head at the green screen.
Yeah, just put Phil Spencer's head right here. That's all I would do.
Hi, Phil.
Hi, Phil. Him and Todd Howard. You gotta have
right,
both. You got Todd Howard and Phil.
Right.
No, but I don't want it to turn into an arms race. But man, now that Amazon is a part of the equation. Amazon's going to spend some money. They're not going to come in and half-ass it. You know, Jeff Bezos knows what he's doing.
If anybody's got big pockets, it's Amazon.
Yeah,
at that point.
So now they're they're throwing their hat in the ring. So now you've got Google, Amazon, Microsoft, all putting money into cloud gaming because they know it's fucking legit, and it is legit, you guys. Okay,
So
you
said Google and Amazon and Microsoft?
Yeah.
Because that's what we were talking about earlier, right? Is that we're saying like people, and this is where part of your foresight when these conversations we've had over the last few weeks about this is that, they're in an arms race, but not really about studios and the Sony. It's about really battling people like Amazon and Google. So honestly, Microsoft is, if they're talking 4 years, they've got some sort of foresight on this thing in the future, and that's game streaming and having a hold on it now.
And I feel like PlayStation's in a position right now where they're just like, fuck, man, we got PlayStation Now. We better get this shit working.
Well, and that's what we were saying. Like, because, PlayStation Now, over the time of PS4, did adapt and change. You could download the game, so it became more like Game Pass.
Closer to it, yeah.
Closer to, yeah. So, are Sony sitting around a table going, man, how are we going to figure out this? Because they got to know, like, and maybe they don't care. Maybe they figure they'll always sell a console. They'll always have God of War something.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe someday a Twisted Metal, and maybe some fucking lightning bolt will hit, and all of a sudden SOCOM pops out. Maybe they're not worried about that shit, right?
Right.
Or are they going to try and do something similar?
Yep.
Are we going to come back in 2062 and sit here and go, oh damn, no hardware, but we got all these sweet gaming services from Microsoft and Sony? Like, we don't know, but that honestly, clearly the world is going towards digital, so that could honestly be a reality. But
and honestly, and here's the thing, man. And here's the thing: so there's a deal breaker with this. If Game Pass was on Switch, bye Sony. I mean, at that point, would Sony just reach out to Xbox and be like, hey, can we put Game Pass? We'll pay you to put Game Pass on our system.
Yeah, I don't think Nintendo. Microsoft and Sony. Nintendo really isn't at odds with any of them. They do their own thing.
Yeah, they just do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, they're more like the Upper Peninsula. We got Michigan, we got the Lower Peninsula. We're the trolls below the bridge, and the Upper Peninsula is kind of just going, hey, I'm out here, do my thing. That's kind of how Nintendo works. Like, Nintendo does its own thing, and everybody, like, I would say there's more chances of somebody having a PlayStation and or an Xbox and then having a supplement that's probably a Switch, not really the other one. Because the problem is then we're going to start getting into fandom and fanboyism and fangirlism, and that stuff is just a fucking waste of time.
Jay Hill asked a good question. Does this Game Pass and this stuff matter to a guy like me who's going to basically play sports games? Josh,
I would say, yeah.
Yeah, because EA Play, which is like EA's version of like what Games of Gold or whatever. It's just like, it's basically a subscription service that's going to get bundled in with Xbox Game Pass, and all of their games, not launch titles. Typically, it's like 6 months after they launch, their EA games will jump into the EA Play vault, and they're available to play. So after a couple months, Madden will drop in there. NBA Live that nobody gives a fuck will drop in there. But Star Wars games drop in there. All that stuff is dropping into EA Play. So, Josh, honestly, man, here's the thing. This is why Xbox is in such a unique position. They've got xCloud. They've got Game Pass. They've got all these titles that they've got just launching in there. And it's honestly, man, you can buy an Xbox One, or an Xbox Series X and an Xbox Series S. And even if you play like Call of Duty on Xbox, cross-play is a thing. So even if you have an Xbox, you can play with people on PlayStation 5 with cross-play. So, I mean, it's, again, you've gotten rid of the barrier for, I want to play with my friends, I'll buy the system I can play with my, that's gone, because cross-play is a thing. Now it's about content. Now it's about what's there. And Game Pass is fucking content heavy. Heavy. And it's sexy. It's $14.99 a month right now. I got to believe that's got to go up at some point, dude. At some point. But then again, dude, if there's 5.2 billion people,
if
you
got
can keep
people,
that price
if
pretty
you're
low.
getting hooked on your phone, they might not have to.
It's wild, man. It's wild to think about. I mean, they're in a very, very good position. I mean, I talk about a company that has done a complete 180 from the Xbox One reveal in 2013. That fucking disaster.
Disaster.
And now they're going into this gen, dropping the biggest Megaton announcement probably in the last decade in gaming. I mean, honestly, I can't think of the last time a publisher went out and bought another publisher, not just a publisher, but the parent company,
Yeah, like straight up parent company.
Yeah, Bethesda's publisher. They bought the fucking publisher and their parent company. I can't remember. I don't think that's ever been done.
Right.
That's like if Sony were to go out and buy Activision or EA.
Well, it would actually be shit. I can't think of the name right now.
Blizzard.
Nope. There's a parent company that owns those two, Activision and Blizzard. It's begins with a V.
Oh,
Vivendi.
Vivendi. Yep.
That's the parent company, Vivendi.
ZeniMax is the one that owns Bethesda. Yeah, they went out and bought ZeniMax. I mean, it's fucking crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. It's wild to think about, but I mean, they know what they're doing. I mean, they're looking at this stuff and they're making moves, and they're in a position right now to dominate next gen. But they're not thinking about it from a console perspective, you guys. They really aren't. They don't fucking care about consoles. They care about them enough to be like, hey, look, here's a couple, you're good. But after that, thank you guys so much for the files. Appreciate it. Lord Dog.
Appreciate you guys.
Introspect, thank you so much for the follow.
Lair Dog.
But yeah, I mean, it was a wild announcement. I mean, and now here's the other thing to think about. For the longest time, Sony has always been kind of like the RPG machine. You're going to play a lot of RPGs on Sony machines. Fallout, Wasteland, Fable, Elder Scrolls, Starfield. I mean, that's just to name a few. These are all Western RPGs that are now locked in to Xbox. Yes, now Sony is still all right. They still have deals with Final Fantasy. That's cool.
They got yeah.
And man, now I tell you what, dude, had Microsoft dropped a bomb at TGS
with all the hints
and said they were buying fucking Sega, which I don't know, but had they come out and said we're buying Sega, which would have scooped up Atlas, makers of Persona,
people would have had their heads.
Then I'd be like, dude, you just lost everything RPG. It'd be crazy. I am Logic. If you want 2 AAA quality games per year and that's all you play, sorry that moved on me. Then get a PS for MP and choice. Then go on get an Xbox. Hey, I mean, there you go, you guys. I mean, everyone's gonna have different perspectives. Everyone's gonna have different opinions on what's the go. But for value, straight value, right now,
right,
Xbox is the way to go.
Yeah, and like
it's more appealing.
We'll always have both systems, so we're gonna get the best of both worlds, anyways.
And see, here's the thing: even if you are just a PlayStation owner, if all you do is play on PlayStation, it's gonna cost you $14.99 to have a cell phone to play the Xbox stuff on xCloud. Instead of being so, oh my God, I can't play Fallout on the PlayStation. You can buy the fucking game and everything else on Game Pass and play through xCloud, which is a proven thing. Dude, Stadia works. Stadia is incredible. And everything I've run on xCloud is it's right up there with it, if not better. So instead of everyone getting all mad and pissed, this is just how it's going to be. But now you can play all those games for $15 a month.
No matter where you're at.
Doesn't matter where you're at. You can still play these games. You don't have to buy 2 copies of them. You don't have to buy. You don't have to pay $70 for them on PlayStation 5. Paying $15 a month.
What you're saying is by such. I don't know. What we're trying to say for the most part is we're trying to cut out a lot of the fandom and fanboyism.
If everyone just steps back.
Right. Like we play a lot on Sony because yes, we do play a lot of single player games and we love Sony's IPs, and that's been my criticism this gen for Xbox is the lack of first party IPs and stuff like that. They leaned too heavily on third party, and some of that third party just didn't turn out as well either. But this is people wanted them to get exclusives. They went out and bought a parent fucking company.
Yep.
I don't play a lot of these games except for maybe Doom a little bit, and I dabble in Elder Scrolls. So that's great and cool. Don't get me wrong. I mean, but at the same time, like as somebody who's really excited about God of War Ragnarok or Spider-Man or whatever, I still play my Xbox. I play Doom only pretty much on the Xbox or PC. This is awesome to see this because I've also been critical and they've changed that. So this is a value, and if that means I can play Doom 42 on my phone in 5 years, then fucking I'm gonna do it, and I'm not gonna complain about it. Like the division when it comes to certain things, when it comes to like the consoles and like the Switch and the this and the other, at the end of the day, it don't fucking matter. None of these guys are coming to your grave. I've said it before.
Yeah.
Stop dying on those hills.
Yeah.
Microsoft's not going to come to your grave when you die and say, "Oh man, you bought our consoles. Here's our flag. Here's our banner." They don't give a shit about you. That's the bottom line. No, so let's be gamers and be excited and objective and like criticize the things we like because nothing's perfect.
Right.
If you don't like it, fucking criticize it because that's what you should do. Even if you do like it, but you're like, this sucks, criticize it. If you love it, that's fine. Try to enjoy the good aspects of it. This is a good get for Microsoft. This is smart. Like you said, perfect. Western RPGs, perfect. It fits the Xbox ecosystem. It's on Game Pass, $14.99. You want to play Elder Scrolls? Boom, you're going to get it. PlayStation, grab your phone.
Hey, you're not going to be hurting. You're on PlayStation, you got God of War. You got The Last of Us. You've got whatever the hell else they're all working on. Horizon Zero Dawn, Forbidden West. I mean, you've got... It's not like Sony's just dying right now. They're not. They're up against the ropes.
Oh, this took an entire like literally in the first month before the next gen happened.
Yeah.
They've already it's like they spun around like
they weren't ready for it, baby.
Yeah,
they weren't ready for it.
And but Microsoft learned probably from this last gen, just like Sony learned during the PS3 gen. So here we are, and smart stuff. Go ahead and announce that.
We have 12 minutes. 12 minutes until the winner is drawn for a 3-month subscription to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Exclamation point to enter. Exclamation point to enter. And you have to be here to claim it. Exclamation point claim to claim it. So, if you want to hop in, exclamation point enter. Enter in. Drawing is in about 12, 11 minutes now. Last thing we want to talk about with this, which is really, really interesting. Microsoft released a video, or I'm sorry, no, Digital Foundry did a comparison because Xbox Series X units are out in the wild now. A lot of these websites, these YouTube channels, they have access to Xbox Series X's, and one of them did, or Digital Foundry did like a comparison of these last gen games from like Xbox One running on Xbox Series X to see how backwards compatibility worked.
Right.
And guys, some of this shit is pretty hot. First of all, you have Monster Hunter here that would just be above 30 frames. I mean, it's a beautiful game, but the performance wasn't quite where it was at. This thing is locked at damn near 60 frames on Xbox Series X now.
Beautiful.
It looks absolutely fantastic in motion. Now, you're going to see the benefits from this if your games on Xbox One, if the game has an unlocked frame rate. Now, if a game is locked at 30 frames, it's not going to improve the frame rate. It's not going to go to 60 frames because a developer would have to come in and change it up to where they would create it to where it is an unlocked frame rate, or they could set it at 60. So there's a lot of games where they have unlocked frame rates. And yes, we'll talk, the load times are ridiculously fast, but I think performance-wise is where it really shows the difference between the Xbox One X and the Xbox Series X. It's really impressive, you guys. I mean, games like Monster Hunter World, Hitman, which was a very difficult game to run on consoles. It wasn't as consistent as we would have liked, but man, they look fucking great on the Xbox Series X. So I was really impressed with this. A lot of these games were cleaned right up. No frame pacing issues, no frame rate issues, no screen tearing. A lot of these games look absolutely awesome running on Xbox Series X. This right here, this section here in Tomb Raider that they're showing right now on the right is on Xbox One X. This was a very difficult game to run in this area on Xbox One X. Xbox Series X is basically at 60 frames, you guys. So I mean, it's wild, man. I mean, it's really wild to see just how good this system really is. I mean, it's obviously got the beef. It's got the power to run these games as long as there's an uncapped frame rate. Now, that's not saying developers won't go in at some point. Thank you, Drastin. Thank you. I think it's because he moved and the light is able to light up my better side of my face. This is my good side. This is my good side, my good profile side. But no, it was really cool to see this. Finally see some of these games, these older backwards compatibility games running on the Xbox Series X. They look fantastic. They're running smooth, and they're, like I said, they're damn near locked to 60 frames. So there is going to be some value. And again, if you have Xbox Game Pass, you'll be able to revisit a lot of these games and finally see them at a more optimized state. Maybe some of these games were a little bit tougher or a little bit harder to run on the Xbox One X, or even worse on the Xbox One base or the Xbox One S. These things are going to look fucking great on the Xbox Series X. So seriously, kudos to them for being able to really find a way to make it easier for these games to run optimally at 60 frames. I mean, that's going to be really cool to go back and see. And again, just another reason why Xbox Game Pass is going to be nice for all these people who maybe played games at lesser settings Hey, there he is. Just got 50% ugly again. Sorry, Drastin. Sorry to ruin it for you, dude. But, Tone, any thoughts on the way these games look that they're running here?
I was actually pretty surprised.
Yeah.
Honestly. Did you talk about the S? Very surprised by that.
Yep.
I think that's a very underrated mention for a lot of people. Like, I mean, clearly you're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. People we know are going to talk about it. But the fact that the S looks that good was really quite a shocker.
Yep. Xbox Series S is actually looking pretty good. So,
and we joked about, what was it, Drive? Or Dirt Rally?
Dirt 5,
we did a lot of jokes about Dirt Rally because they've been showing that a lot. But
yeah, looked pretty good.
It looked really good.
Looked pretty good. So, like I said, this was a huge announcement. The Bethesda deal, it was a massive announcement. And there's just, you guys, there's just no way they bought this to improve Game Pass, not improve it. I mean, it's already great, to make it even better. And this is a part of their plan moving forward. It's not about consoles anymore. It's all about subscriptions, and that's how they're going to make their money.
And I still gotta wonder overall too. Again, Sony's gonna try and adapt something. They
have to.
I mean, if you got Xbox already in front from a console side of it, right, to combat Google and Amazon because they've got that foresight, Sony's got to be going, oh shit.
They have to, because honestly, dude, how much easier is it going to be for Microsoft, or as cloud gaming grows, or even Amazon or Stadia, to go to one of these other third-party publishers and be like, hey, get your game on here. We have a lot of people who are buying into this cloud gaming.
Mm-hmm.
If Sony doesn't have an answer for cloud gaming at some point, all these third-party deals that they're used to shelling out for, those are going to go somewhere else, where there's a bigger install base, where that publisher, whether it be Amazon, Google, or Xbox, or Microsoft, they're going to be able to say, hey, look, you're going to make a lot of money doing this. We have a lot of people who have access to this. Something to think about, man. They are there with PS4 Gold games on Plus, but feels weak. They need a big publisher to back it.
I'm wondering if that's their first step in the direction, though. That's what we were kind of talking about, or at least I brought that up. If the PS4 Gold games, that might be their first step into the Game Pass direction.
Oh, the collection, PS4
Yeah, because we really don't know a lot of details about that, except, day one on PS5, your PlayStation Plus member, you get these games. Is that somehow going to be their their step into that direction? They're going to start with their first party IPs.
Brian mentions a great point. People are wondering if they'll combine PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus. They have to.
At this point,
they have to.
They're going to have to.
They have to roll that in.
And charge $15 a month or something similar instead of being like $10 right now for PlayStation Plus.
They have to roll it in. Otherwise, nobody is buying PlayStation Now.
Nobody.
Just to use it here or there. Nobody is. So it's just like, look, you better start rolling that shit in quick, or I'm just sorry, they're going to become obsolete. Not right now, maybe not even this gen, but once cloud gaming really takes off, you guys, and PlayStation doesn't have an answer for it, they're going to be in a little bit of trouble.
Yep.
The PlayStation Plus collection seems like it's just there to give new PlayStation owners a taste of all the PlayStation games they may have missed. I don't think it'll be more than that. That's a great point.
That is, and I've seen that perspective rolling around, and that is definitely a good point as well too.
All right,
Forge saying there, say something.
Forge said Sony has their other media content up their sleeves that they can include in a subscription service. So playing from behind is possible, especially if they were to team up with Google.
Add in their movies because Sony Pictures and shit.
Oh yeah.
If that's what he's kind of angling toward, like
as far as streaming gaming goes. I mean, yeah, they have to find a way to use all their properties.
Right.
They got to find a way to make PlayStation Plus more appealing, because right now Game Pass is just completely wiping it out in terms of its value. So, anyways, all right, moving on. To the next big topic, the one that I know you're really excited about.
Raised by Wolves?
Oh my God, no, I didn't watch Raised by Wolves yet. Boom! Oh boy, easy. I might have to get a towel and some Jergens.
All right, sorry, Uncle.
Tone?
Yes.
Friday night, actually Thursday night at midnight.
Tomorrow night, midnight.
Star Wars Squadrons is dropping. Tone?
Yes.
Tell me about Squadrons, man. Why you hype, baby?
Because there's nothing more than I want is to be an Imperial ace pilot in a squint flying around taking X-Wings down to the ground.
This looks fucking dope. This looks really, really good. $39.99 available now on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. It is cross-play. On PlayStation, you get VR support, and just last week on Friday, they updated the game. It will include support for sticks. flight sticks will be able to use. So if you want to pop on the PlayStation VR headset and use the sticks and be fully immersed, get it, baby.
Do it.
Get it.
I'm gonna have to do it.
I'm gonna try PlayStation VR. I'm gonna hop on that shit. I'm gonna get fully immersed. I'm gonna lose my mind, dude. This looks so good. This looks so good. Now, we know that this looks like this is gonna be all first person.
Yeah, from what it sounds like, I don't believe there's third person, and a lot of flight games do have that option. I don't know if this may have that option, but this morning I was privy to get some words from one of the developers who actually worked on Star Wars Battlefront 2 as well, and they were really kind of stressed the fact that they wanted that feel from what Drass and I have been dreaming of, was X-Wing versus TIE Fighter from like the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And that was completely their vision. They felt like when they were working on Battlefront, they got a taste of what they could do, and they said they put together some stuff and then started presenting it, and then at first they were not sure, and people were like, wait a second, it's pretty deep. So 5v5 space dogfighting, sign me up. I've got sticks ready, and I'm probably going to figure out how to get myself a PSVR again, because I unfortunately don't have one. That is actually, Lair Dog, if you pre-order that in the Stadia, yes, you get to be as Captain Kirk. James Tiberius Kirk. Yeah. James Tiberius, yes. And
no, yeah, this looks really, really good, man. I mean, from what we know so far, there will be 6 areas that you can do combat in. This is gonna be there's a full single player campaign.
Yep, and you get to play as both perspectives, Imperial and the remnants of the Imperial, because this actually does take place about 5 years after Return of the Jedi, which, you know, at that time it's a lot of open space except for a few books in the current sequel era. You know, as we know, it all ended at Jakku, but this is going to pretty much be the imps against the ropes, trying to maintain some form of order, trying to keep the Empire alive, and that's kind of where that story is going to fly with, is that your rebels and trying to pretty much torch them out for good.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm sure this is a game that will get rotated throughout the B&B plays.
I would imagine so.
26 seconds right now until the winner is drawn for the 3-month subscription to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. If you haven't entered, now's the time. ! Enter. 16 seconds. Let's go. Ooh, excuse me. I'm excited. I'm watching this. I'm going to let the video play for a little bit. But 7 seconds.
6.
Here we go. Let's see who the winner is. Let's see who it is. Death Dispenser. Hey-o! We have a winner.
Look at that. Congratulations, sir. Look at that.
Oh, Brian,
like
don't fight your grandma.
He's going to fight his grandma.
Brian, leave your grandma out of it, damn it.
Yeah, she's a very nice lady. Thank you very much.
Oh, man. Congratulations, Death Dispenser. Appreciate that.
Caps has 6 areas that are all space. You jerk. Our mods suck.
No, that is awesome. Congratulations, buddy. We will definitely touch base with you to hand over that code after the show. Appreciate you always being here, and your constant support means a lot to us.
Yeah, and honestly, always commenting on the YouTube stuff.
Always on YouTube.
Appreciate
He's
that,
always
bro.
on YouTube. Is he on Twitter? Do we have him on Twitter?
I don't believe he uses Twitter.
Death Dispenser, we need to find out. Oh, can we whisper to him? Send a message.
I talk to him on Facebook every day.
Oh, well, I guess I'll just give it to you then. There you go. Awesome. There we go. Death Dispenser, congratulations. We will definitely get you that code after the show. Really, really, really appreciate it. Stand behind stand. Oh my God, jeez. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. We have something about that at the end of the show. Something I think you guys and gals will enjoy.
Blair just made me chug. Hey, how was that bear tonight, buddy? Is that delicious?
What do you have?
He had bear for dinner.
A bear?
He was showing pictures. Yeah,
like bear, like Yogi Bear.
He went, yes, like the fucking bear was having a picnic and he shot it. Jeez.
Oh, look at Josh, man. He razzes me in my streams, and now he's giving me the business right here.
Hey Jay, I'm telling you what, Josh. I tell him every 2 minutes. Hey, have you seen Raised by Wolves yet?
I know. I don't have time. I can't watch that kind of shit. I gotta focus. I gotta focus on one show at a time. I'm old. Okay. Somebody earlier, who the hell was it that said I was old as fuck? I don't even know. Somebody said I was old as hell.
Forbes did.
Forbes did, yeah. Damn it, Forbes.
Forge
Hammer, that's right.
Forbes is in here. Yeah, we're going to be on the cover of Forbes next month,
Paul
everybody.
Tassie's in here?
Paul Tassie. What up, Paul? Love you, Paul.
But no, I'll be streaming this on Friday night. I think you're going to be playing too.
I might stream tomorrow or
you might do
Friday or
tomorrow night.
something. I'm gonna drink a lot next couple days.
But your doctor said not to, Tone.
But she
Remember?
didn't say anything about the vacation days.
That's usually how it works. So yeah, we'll be streaming this Friday night for sure. I'll be streaming on my channel. I'm sure you'll be probably streaming it on yours, if anything, or maybe just playing because you might be too shit-faced. We don't know yet.
Right.
Somebody said you might be drinking all day Friday playing, so you might even be passed out. It might just be me. Who knows? But if you're going to be playing on Friday night, whether you're on PC, Xbox, or PlayStation 4, swing over by my stream or his stream if he's streaming,
Atomic.
and let us know. We'll link up. We can do it's cross-play.
Yeah,
we'll
holler.
run missions together. We'll have some fun. I'll complain about the controls in flying games like I always do, and it'll be good times.
Yeah, because down is up is down, man.
It's not that simple.
It is
It's-
that
it's
simple.
always-
It's
it's
that
always-
fucking
it's
simple. That's how
bullshit.
that works, man.
All right, moving on to our final topic of the evening.
Ooh.
This show just keeps getting better and better and better as we move on.
And very, like, forward thinking.
Forward thinking, and episodes 6 and 7 of Lovecraft Country. If you guys are not watching this show, please watch this show. Please
Yeah.
watch this fucking show.
And Raised by Wolves, but please watch this show.
And Raised by Wolves, but watch this show. Episode 6. The thing that I'm liking that they're really doing with these last couple episodes, even the last 3, because Ruby gets a lot of time in episode 5.
Yeah. Side character.
The side characters
Awesome.
are getting a lot of love right now.
Development.
You know, that's been the best part. The sixth episode was kind of like a love story. Kind of gives you an idea who G is, the woman that was on the phone at the beginning of episode 1, at the end of episode 4, I believe it was. She knows Atticus. She was over in Korea at the time. Uh-oh.
Lexa actually showed up for a live show.
Lethal. What? Never heard of it either. Please calm down. Only warning.
The mod's on it.
Welcome, Lexa. How you doing tonight? But episode 6 was a love story that focuses on Atticus, and we find out how he knows G and how their relationship formed. And it's a very complicated scenario. There's many complicated.
That entire.
There's a lot of shit going on. There's love story elements, but there is a lot of like complicated story arcs they're exploring. Like, for example, Atticus is, for all intents and purposes, the protagonist of this series.
Yeah.
But there's a few scenes in that predates everything that we've seen so far, and gives you a quick glimpse of like Atticus is maybe not quite the good guy at the time.
Everybody's got skeletons in their closet.
Everyone's got skeletons. And I feel like it's these types of moments that are necessary to humanize characters. Not everybody is a hero in every moment. But he's still a strong character. We still care about Atticus. We want to see him get through this.
Right.
But you kind of get those moments like, okay, not everything is, hunky-dory with these characters. But then the storyline about G, and again, we're not gonna. I really want to do a spoiler cast at the end of the season because I don't want to just hop in here and start talking about certain story arcs because there is so much going on. But when you do watch this series, man, the character G, the relationship she has with her mother, and how it relates to Atticus's relationship with Montrose, is really, really cool, and how they use that to bring these two together despite some of the things that's going on.
And it's like there's parallels.
Yes.
But there's so many perps too. Perpendiculars, like the way that just like one's a little sideways. Like it's really unique.
You guys, this show is incredibly well written. It's not a straightforward show, but the acting is superb. The writing is great. And episode 6 was really, really, really strong. And episode 7 came out this past Sunday. And this was the most sci-fi alternate reality. I mean, there was a lot. This was the first episode where I was like, I gotta go watch this again. I have to go watch it again. Because there's strong messages in there. But the way they deliver these messages, it's just like,
and you're so sucked in because of the visuals.
Yes.
There's huge undertones in it.
Yes.
But I'm gonna go back to, was it Spinal Tap? Well, 11's louder than 10, right?
Yes.
They cranked it.
Yeah, way.
The show was already at a 10.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they cranked it to an 11. And this episode, like, we talk about how, like, Lovecraft is a lot of many things: horror, space horror, it's sci-fi, fantasy. I mean, there really isn't a lot of, like, they always say cosmic horror and space horror or whatever. This was really your first deep dive taste into a little bit more sci-fi.
Yeah, very much so.
And it was, at first you're like, what the fuck? And then when you're watching, like, oh, it just kind of works with everything that's going on. You like at this point you shouldn't be surprised. It's almost like a dessert you didn't expect to get at dinner time. Here you go.
Yep. And again, this is another character, Aunt Hippolyta, who is just, for the most part, been just kind of like a side character that's been here and there.
Compared to some of the others, like super side character.
Yeah, super side character. And I'm telling you, man, it's the cast. Everyone is so fucking good in this show. Mm-hmm. But her story arc, the reason she's going through what she's going through, it's so impressive because you're watching a character literally grow. I mean, it's funny that she talks about shrinkage in this episode. And not only in her story is there shrinkage, but her character's purpose so far in this series has been kind of like shrink.
It was a little meta.
Down.
It was a little meta.
It was very meta. And the way that they expanded upon it and the way her character evolves in such a powerful, empowering, and just it's so well done. Like the character just blossoms. I mean, seriously, the character just blossoms, and it's absolutely just fantastic.
I'm gonna jump back just for a second. I do see something I did miss. See, Pod says he has heard about it in Scotland. Yes.
I've never even heard of this in Scotland. Need to check it out. It's on HBO Max.
I have not. Okay.
Scotland, if you have access to HBO, that's where it's at.
Death Dispenser, do you have to know Lovecraft lore to understand?
No,
you definitely don't.
But there's some like comparisons.
There's a lot of like
Lovecraft elements. If you've seen Lovecraft stuff, you'll be like, oh yeah,
right. It fits the rails of it, I guess. But like it really doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter. It's not
like a show that's constantly connected.
Right.
Yeah, I came to hang out for a bit, but I don't want Lovecraft. Oh no, Doctor Haircut.
We're not doing spoilers, Doctor Haircut. What up, Doc?
I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. I guess I'm just trying to give very general ideas of what to look for in these episodes, why they're so strong. But no, this is not a spoiler. We're not going to get into any details. I would never do that because this show is that fucking good.
But if you don't think that I'm going to get in my Facebook Messenger after this and give you spoilers, well, then you're fucking crazy.
You better block them now. Block them now.
Block me now.
No, at the end of the season, once everyone's had an opportunity to watch it and kind of like break and let it digest it and wrap their heads around it, we will definitely do. I think we'll try.
I think it's a great, like, we've talked about a lot of movies, a lot of TV shows. We've followed some stuff. This was really the first show I think we've kind of followed.
Yeah,
honestly, and I think it was a good one to follow because there's a lot of, we've talked about a few times. There's a lot of reality with this one. The time that it's set in is big. There's a lot of things going on. It's a very overly ambitious series, and I think at the end of this we'll get together. We'll do like a spoiler cast on it and talk about it and sit down and dive deep into it for sure.
The way this show is setting up so far, you guys, is basically we're getting pieces here and there, and we're getting character development here and there. But as they're developing these characters, you're also getting narratives and story arcs that are moving everything forward. But you don't know what the fuck is going on at the same time. And that's the part of cosmic horror that I dig. It's always about trying to figure out what is going on. You never get clear answers. It's always about, how do you interpret this?
Yeah.
What is this going to be
always
about?
Interpretation.
Which it puts a lot of pressure. Now, a lot of pressure. We have 3 episodes left. 8, 9, and 10. That's it. It's 10 episodes. We have 3 episodes left. The biggest thing for these types of shows, when you have so many questions, 7 episodes deep, are they going to stick the landing? Mm-hmm. You have to stick the landing here. I feel like this is more evolved than anything we saw in Game of Thrones. Way more. I mean, Game of Thrones, it did the same thing. It places the tables. You're trying to figure out where things are going. I feel like this is even, because cosmic horror is just so difficult to interpret and read about or read into.
Okay.
I feel like this is going to be one of those shows that how they stick the landing is going to define how well the series played out.
That's a very, very fair perspective. I offhand, I can't find a good reason to even want to debate that, because like this is just shows unique, kind of like how you're alluding to. Like there's an overall arc, right? The book and the pages, right? For the most part, Tick's background maybe kind of part
some
of that.
Episodes more than others.
Right,
Some
and then
very little.
And
bit.
then each episode's almost like it's almost like a like if you've played an RPG or an MMO, like your overall arc is to kill the bad dragon on the mountain, right? But in between, you're helping this guy find some wood to create a fire so his little kid can,
and then somehow that side quest leads to an important piece that's going to help you in the ultimate.
And maybe it won't, and maybe it's just like you know what I mean? Because like when you talk about like episode, what was it, 3 or 4, like the house.
Yeah, 4.
It was kind of a standalone almost.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, so there's a lot of little pieces, but it was still connected because of you know what I mean. Like, it's very unique. It's very smooth. It's very smart. It's written very good. I know that it's based again off the anthology or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Never read them. Shame on me apparently because
shame on you.
Shame on me.
I did the Cliff Notes version.
You didn't do shit. But this again, like you said, like it comes down to kind of like how Game of Thrones worked for 8 or 9 years and. While not everybody liked the landing, it definitely didn't stick very well, right? And that's what's going to be important with this. Like, you know, did you blow your load early, or are we going to make it all the way? You know, and that's...
Dude, the fucking train derailed.
Yeah.
And it wiped out, and it blew up, and everyone died.
And think about it. Cappadocian said this earlier this year. Remember how Game of Thrones was talked about all the time, nonstop?
Yeah.
He said it earlier this year. He's like, that ending was so bad for everybody.
Nobody
talks about Game of Thrones anymore.
It's painful to talk about. So 3:30 a.m. here, so got to head to bed. But great show, guys. Followed in the socials. Night all.
Appreciate you,
Podfather. Appreciate you, buddy.
Saw Meglave tube. Thank you guys. I know it's getting a little late.
Appreciate you hanging out, buddy. But no, you guys, if you get a chance, HBO Max or if you have HBO, it's Sunday nights at 9 p.m. You can probably watch it on demand through any of those services. You have to watch the show. It is so fucking good.
And
it is so good.
And then if you've actually gotten into it and you're liking Lovecraft, you got HBO, watch Raised by Wolves.
Jesus.
As well.
Man, just not going to let that go, are you? Not going to let it go. Okay, all right.
Nope.
All right. All right. That's going to do it for tonight's show. Yeah.
I took a bathroom break. We can keep going for another half hour.
No. You know why? We can't?
Why?
Because I'm already feeling buzzed up and
I
have an Arby's Gyro in the fridge. Midnight snack.
Those are actually really good cold, by the way.
I'm nuking that bitch. Nuking that thing real quick. But hey, seriously, Death Dispenser, congratulations on the win. We will get you that code very, very soon. We had multiple people follow tonight. Like it says in the notification goes up. We try to keep track of that the best we can, but we appreciate your support. We hope you enjoyed the show. We hope you'll stick around, show up for future shows. The next show will be in 2 weeks. Next Wednesday, B&B Plays Golf with Friends on Xbox.
There it is. That's the game chosen.
Golf with Friends, recommended by Tricky Region. I've seen a couple of videos. Game looks fun. We can have up to 12 people. 12 people in a party.
Any crossplay or just Xbox? Is that only on Xbox?
Dude, you asked me right now. I'm buzzed up. I don't fucking know. Tricky, is it crossplay?
If you have, at the very least, an Xbox, want to play, holler at us. Get in our Discord. You got that Discord? Get in our Discord.
Oh, yeah.
Or holler us at any of our socials. Some of you know us in real life. Some of you may or may not. I don't know. Is this real life? Holler at us. Let us know. We'll get a list of people ready. Let's 9 o'clock next Wednesday. Let's play some golf. Let's have some good times. King Cuddles is there. You know King Cuddles is there.
Oh, Cuddles is definitely there. But hop into the Discord. Let us know.
There.
We definitely want to play with you guys and gals. It's always a good time. It's just we get shit-faced and just beat each other up in games. It's a lot of fun. It's a really, really good time.
We like to clown and have a good time.
Before we go,
if you got a couple minutes.
2 things first before we get to the video.
2.
And I just want to say this because I feel like it's my duty to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I denounce white supremacy. There is no room for white supremacy in this country. It's a terrible, terrible thing. We don't support it. We don't believe in it. We don't condone it.
I also denounce white supremacy and racism. It's gross and disgusting. And if you are okay with any of that, please, you can remove yourself from my life. I don't want nothing to do with you.
Boom. Now, obviously, last night was a weird time in this country. But if there's one man, one person that can just make us laugh for just a moment, don't mistake that for forgetting things that are important. It is not to take a break. It is not to forget about what's important right now. The issues still remain. But sometimes you just need a good laugh. If there's one person who can do it, it's Weird Al Yankovic. We're going to close out tonight's show with Weird Al's latest video.
Today.
From today.
With Gregory Brothers.
Mr. Fanboytone, I'm the Dude79. We appreciate your support each and every time you're here. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Next week, if you want to play golf with friends. If not, 2 weeks. Have a great night. Yeah. I'm playing. Where are you at, Weird Al? Where are you at, Weird Al? Hang on, guys. I got it. Promise. I'm not lying. I have Weird Al.
It wouldn't be a B&B.
We're all doomed! People are breathing out this living poison and trying to float into my orifices. I lost my car keys. I had to steal my neighbor's Segway to get here today. And on the way, I crashed in this dumpster. And these kids are making a video, and now I'm on TikTok. I can't. Excuse me. Yeah? Being not hysterical? Despite, things? Oh, I can do that. Dignified. Gentlemen, welcome to the first presidential debate. Our first question in the key of G-sharp minor is Scoo-doo-doo-dit, doo-wee-dit-bibba-da-baba-da-boo, baba-doo-dit. I'm so sorry. 2020's a raging hellscape. Any ideas on how to stop a worldwide plague?
We should be providing people the help they need. He knew back in February it was a deadly disease. What did he do? He's on tape acknowledging he knew.
Really?
He waited and waited and waited, and he didn't even tell you.
President Trump did a phenomenal job. People said that.
Well,
we got the gowns, we made the ventilators, we got the masks. I don't wear a mask like him. Every time you see him, he's got a mask. The biggest mask I've ever seen. The biggest mask I've ever seen.
will we ever get back all the jobs we lost? Or should we set up 11 million Etsy shops?
My economic plan would create $1 trillion in economic growth. He has no intention of making it better for you all at home.
I brought back football. It was me.
What?
Big Ten football, and I'm very happy.
Who's it gonna be?
They want to take out the cows.
In the West Wing.
Now here's the deal. He has no idea what he's talking about.
We're living in the apocalypse. I'm begging you to put a stop to this, pretty please.
He said he could inject some bleach. They cheat.
If the Supreme Court is truly supreme, where's the guac, ground beef, and sour cream?
The American people have a right to say who's the Supreme Court nominee.
Our biggest endorser from Notre Dame. We have a phenomenal nominee.
I ran out of questions, but still got a while. It's time to drop some bars. Let's see how you freestyle.
In Europe, they live their forest cities. They're called forest cities. It's a forest city.
You know, he talks about the art of the deal. China's perfected the art of the steal.
Bad things happen in Philadelphia. Bad things.
He's just afraid of
Proud
the
Boys, stand back and stand by.
But he said there were very fine people on both sides. He said maybe we should drop a nuclear weapon on hurricanes.
The cars have computers all over the place.
Who's it gonna be?
They want to take out the cows.
In the West Wing.
Now here's the deal. He has no idea what he's talking about.
We're living in the apocalypse. I'm begging you to put a stop to this, pretty please.
Keep yapping, man.
The people understand.
He doesn't have a plan.
Exploding trees, COVID-19, hurricanes with names past the letter Z, conspiracy theories about vaccines, murder hornets coming from across the sea, too many memes about World War III, can't tell what's hell or reality, earthquakes ruining my whole week, cause I dropped my keys in the crack between the cup holder and my car seat. Who's it gonna be?
They want to take out the cows.
In the West Wing.
Now here's the deal. He has no idea what he's talking about.
We're living in the apocalypse. I'm begging you to put a stop to this, pretty please.
He said he could inject some bleach. They cheat.
Who's it gonna be?
That was really a productive segment, wasn't it? Keep yapping, man.
If you'll excuse me, the murder hornets come out at midnight, so I've got to go feel the